Hi there, Sam Medina again from JakeTheEvilHair.com and Darkville.com. Today we are working on Darkville Return to Moonshadow. In this case we are working on penciling this individual here, Gladden Darkville. Let's move the camera around a little bit. There goes Gladden. And today we're going to be working specifically, at least for this video, on his cape. Here, since the wind is clearly blowing his hair in this direction, we don't want to draw the cape going in the opposite direction. And believe me, I've done that when I was younger, and I've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of people still do that, which makes no sense. The wind isn't blowing two different ways. It just doesn't look right. You want to kind of mimic the way the hair, at least the direction of the hair, not necessarily the same exact flow, because the cape is not made of the same material as the hair. So I start off with this little non-photo blue, and then I'll come in and tighten it up a little bit with this, let's move the camera down here, 2H Staedtler Mars Lumograph. Give myself a more definite line, which I've actually carried through his leg, just to give myself a, because I can always erase that later and then put it down very hard. And then we tighten it up with our good old-fashioned Murado Black Warrior. My personal favorite pencil to use for drawing. So we got the bottom end of that cape. Now we're going to do some of the outside contours, which I've kind of sketched in non-photo blue, which, not surprising, it doesn't really show up that well on camera, so we're going to indicate and hint at the folds in the cape. You don't really have to do a lot of lines. Some people do. I don't. And just give that nice curve. And you want to keep your materials in mind when you're drawing any kind of drapery, because different drapery reacts different ways. You don't want to. If it was some kind of heavy leather, it might not blow in the wind this much. At least not in the breeze that would move his hair the way it's moving it over here. A heavy leather cape would probably require like a gale force wind, which would have his hair all over the place. And so you want to keep things like that in mind, depending on what you're going for. Or you can cop out and say your cape is alive, and so it moves whatever way it wants. Now, one artist used to say that about his character, and then he drew Batman with exactly the same kind of cape. So apparently Batman's cape is alive. Who knew? And you can indicate some of the shadows, which mostly I do in the inking stage. I don't use a lot of hatching, because I don't want the image to be very busy. And there we have it. We have ourselves a little cape action there. Thanks for watching, and feel free to thumb us up, like us, share us, love us, and check us out at JakeTheEvilHair.com and Darkville.com.